Welcome to Is There Something in This, the podcast where we come up with cartoons for The New Yorker. Who are we? Well, that is a wonderful question.
It's a deep question right off the bat, isn't it?
Question. My name is Scott. His name is Jason.
Hello.
I am into... This is the Tour de France of hangovers. I'm into day 3 of a hangover.
Day 3. Your quads are burning. You don't know what gear you're in.
That's right.
Wow.
I'm wearing a silly shirt.
Don't know what gear you're in or on. What kind of shenanigans create?
I'm not going to get into this, but what I will say, this is all I'm saying, and we're not going to talk about it.
What is this,
further.
a press conference for Shane Warne?
Yeah, it is. But what I will say is this.
Okay.
I went out for lunch.
Yep.
I got home when the sun was rising.
Oh,
that's the end.
That's a good Friday.
That's the end of the conversation.
That is a long lunch.
That's
I think
a long
you'll find.
lunch. Yeah, it was a good lunch.
A liquid lunch.
Yeah, it was a good lunch.
Were you swilling martinis? I have to ask.
So how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm about to fly to Chicago, I think last week.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. If the polar vortex doesn't completely destroy my travel plans, such is my travel curse. Yeah, I'm good. It's very warm in New York for winter, which is alarming because that means it's about to get very, very cold. And lest I keep talking about the weather.
Is there a daily cartoon in that of like...
We are the weather cartoon people, by the way.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Carve out your niche.
I don't know, like, let's trick them or like that kind of...
It's a one to, like, it's a switch, the old switcheroo.
Yeah. We kind of already done that.
We did do the Weather Gods last year, and it ran on the NewYorker.com, which was your idea of the big weather god with the lever in the sky, saying, complaining about the heat, complaining about the cold.
That's right, yeah.
Because New Yorkers, doesn't matter what, they're just going to complain about the weather, no matter what.
Yeah.
Especially my neighbours. All they do is there's an email thread kvetching about the weather. That's all it is, all day long. I have to mute it.
Why are you on an email thread with your neighbours?
Because
How does this happen?
Because when the boiler goes out, they're all like, heads up, everyone, get your rugs out. Boiler's out again.
Right.
It's a very old building. It was built in the...
It is an old building.
Cretaceous period, I think.
Were you reluctant to give your email address initially?
Of course I was.
Yeah.
I actually gave them one that I don't really use anymore. Like, for spam, the ones you use to sign up to things.
Right.
And it just comes up in my inbox and I'm like, well, how is this happening? That's
great.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
I keep some of them for ideas for cartoons because some of them are very, very funny without even trying to be. They're all, when you get, everyone in my building is an artist,
That's right, because you're in an artist co-op.
Right. So some of the things they say without even trying are and some of them are typing on their phones and they're not good at it.
Right.
So they accidentally say things and then it all gets blown out of proportion. Then it's construed as the garbage being done irregular. It's a whole thing. Everything blows up. They don't all get along.
Right.
They're
so what's an example of this?
An example is here it is, this week. This is a good one.
Oh, this week?
Yeah, this is this week. It's every week, man. This is relentless. Okay, so this week...
That's great. I thought it would be like, so there was this one time.
No. This is an ongoing thread that goes back millennia. And so this week, the garbage, right? The neighbours on either side, and the buildings on either side, there's superintendents who bring out the garbage every 2 days, right? Apparently, someone it's a fiasco. It's a imbroglio. It's I don't know what it is, but it's a scandal. And someone has been throwing our trash onto their trash. Yes, I said trash. And we're getting fined. And they're fighting us. And then the other side is fighting the other side because they're throwing their stuff on there and then they're recycling.
This needs a lot more context. When you say the other side, is this another building?
It's another building, adjacent building.
Oh.
And garbage in New York is a really big deal because if you don't separate your recyclables from your regular trash, you get fined. And if they will tear open your garbage and go through it and check if there's recyclables in there, $350 fine. And you have to go to court to defend it as well.
Right.
They take photos, it's a whole thing. So this is why it's a hard-fought battle. It's very expensive to keep paying these fines. And so the thread just keeps naming, like name and shame, everything but calling people out and saying we should evict them.
You've got to take off your name from deliveries?
Yeah. Well, I used to and now I can't be bothered. So
So you're responsible. Are you responsible for any of these?
No, but someone had been throwing my stuff on the other side, so now I'm public enemy number one.
with the opposition.
Looking for a new place now.
With next,
with the opposition.
So is Nextdoor also on this thread?
Yes.
How'd you get their email
their
addresses?
superintendent sent us an email, which then got sent to everyone. So it's a whole miasma of bullshit. These are the things, like, I get emails from spam that I look forward to compared to this.
Right.
It's unbelievable. It's like you ever subscribe to a newsletter and then go, why the fuck did I subscribe to this? And there must have been a discount or something. This is what this is like.
A lot
but
of
I
my
can't
time
unsubscribe.
is spent being like, now why did I sign up for that?
Yes, many of my days.
Because I'm like the kind of person. This is how much I dislike spam.
Yeah.
When I go to like a online store or something, like if you sign up now, we'll give you 10% off your first order. I'm like, you know what? I'll cop it.
I'll just take that. Yeah.
I don't need the email.
I'm good. Yeah, my promotion section's
It's
full.
fine.
So here's the cap end of that. Email yesterday. Camera footage. They set up a CCTV camera.
It was a sting.
They've caught the person who's been throwing the trash on the wrong side.
Who is it?
They won't say. So they're giving all these hints and they're saying, we're not going to say who it is.
What's the
but we
benefit
know.
of the person doing that?
I think it's just that they didn't separate their trash, right? And so they're throwing it on the other side so that they don't get the fine.
Oh.
So
crime of the century.
Crime of the century in New York. I mean, New York streets, if you're a super. And because everyone in the building is a super on rotation, it's a whole thing. So these are the days of my life. This is the things I deal with. I don't know about you. You probably got bigger things going on.
No, not really.
This is my life, the minutia.
No, I've really got nothing.
Really got nothing going on.
No.
You truly are the Jerry Seinfeld of this podcast.
I pretty am. Yeah, pretty much am. Yeah.
It's just nothing, doing nothing.
Nothing worth like to me. That's interesting to me because I've learned something.
Yes.
Nothing interesting's happened to me.
Oh, okay.
So there's nothing like.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bore you. I'm not going to waste your precious time.
Like I've just wasted yours.
No, because that was interesting. Because I didn't realize there were the fines and the thing and the emails and the whole thing. It was that's interesting. What have I got? I've got we've started watching Gilmore Girls again because it's that time of the year.
Yeah, it's that time of year. Fall.
So, and each year it gets worse.
It really does. It really does. In fact, that frequency of their voices, of their gabbling voices,
but I'm really
sets off my dog.
conscious to never ever if there's stuff I don't like, I will never be like, man, that's I try not to be that person because someone's written it. I know what it's like. We write things, we do things. This is bad, man.
It's a next level bad.
It's like their whole thing is like, all right, so what makes her quirky? Oh, she likes coffee. Give me coffee. And that's her whole thing.
So many seasons about her liking coffee.
Yeah, that's it.
This is, you know what? I just realized this is the third time we've had a Gilmore Girls section
about
on the podcast.
this time of each year, I think it's just when it starts to get a bit cooler.
Rory last week. Working with the New York Times in the Agony Aunt section.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then last year we had a Gilmore Girls.
Well, we were both like,
Yeah.
what is, how, I don't get.
Intelligent white women have it on as white noise. It's a thing that
Yeah,
Sophie asked her friends. Yes, it's a thing.
Yeah.
They just have it on in the background. It's like comfort noise.
Yeah.
It's weird though. It's the gabbling. It's the constant gabbling of Luke and the mother and the father and
It's very bad.
It's a tragedy.
It's very bad.
So, how you going this week for jokes?
I've got some jokes.
Wonderful.
Okay.
What are we going with?
Wedding.
Love it.
Interrupting the vows. Now, this could be anything. This is kind of what I wanted to bounce off you. But someone interrupting the vows, and the caption is, she likes pineapple on pizza. If, speak now or forever hold your peace. But it can be anything.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The implication is that
Implication is
the priest has just asked.
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah. They've got to know. They've got to know.
Yeah, something like.
Yeah. Something damning. And then he's like, wait, what?
The thing is, I really like pineapple on pizza.
I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty good. I love a Hawaiian. Did I tell you that in the interim, in the break, I got ordained as a minister and married someone?
Oh, really?
Did I not tell you this? Central Park. A mate of mine.
Person you knew.
Yeah. Not a stranger.
Hey,
I didn't walk up to a couple who was strolling along going, want to get married? I went to City Hall and I got ordained as a minister.
Oh, so you're not like online.
No. I can properly marry anyone in the state of New York. Yeah,
wow.
And legally. And so...
Like a ferry captain.
Like a ferry captain without the hat. I wish there was a hat. The first thing I asked, is there a hat?
There is if you join the right one.
Yeah, but there's no hat in this one, just a certificate with a gold badge.
Is this Do you have to go and do this? Like, say you go through and do all the stuff to become like a Catholic or Protestant or Jewish kind of minister
Ferry
or
captain.
whatever.
Yep.
Do you have to do the same thing there? Like, if I go through the whole Catholic priest thing,
Right.
to become an ordained minister, do I still have to go there to get that done?
Yes,
or?
you do.
Right.
Because it's a legal thing.
Separation of church and
Of course, you have to officiate with, and it's legal within that. You have to pay to have it done, of course, and then it has to be ratified by a notary and all this stuff.
Right.
You're sitting there in the waiting line at City Hall.
Do you have to pass a test or something?
You have to pass checks, not tests, but a
Right.
check. And it's not a religious. It's a secular thing, so it's a church of, not church. Does that make sense? It's a non-religious ceremony.
Yeah.
And my mate Aaron, who I've known since I was 12, he's an Aussie bass player in a band, and he has fallen in love with this wonderful woman from Tulsa in Oklahoma.
Wow.
Met on tour, and
Met on what?
Tour. On a cruise, on a rock cruise.
Oh, they could have gotten married
Rock
there.
the boat. Wouldn't that have been nice? Yeah. And so...
Can you say the band?
Yeah, they're called Raven Eye. They open for Kiss and Toto.
Oh,
and
wow.
They're pretty, they're a good band. So he goes, he texts me while I'm in, where was I? I was interstate. I was in, I don't know, Kansas or something. I was in Columbus, Ohio. And he's texting me going, can you do this? And I'm like, I'm not in the state. He's like, we'll be there on Sunday. So I got it all done within...
very rock and roll.
It's super rock and roll. And it was last second. Her best friend flew over. Sophie was the other witness. And we did it on a rock. Walked into Central Park on a rock. I officiated, did the vows.
Did strangers take photos?
Yes, there was a guy on a rock next to us.
Right.
Just sitting there eating a sandwich and taking iPhone photos. He was our photographer. And then we got drunk, and the Parks and Rec people came by and used their tractors to light up so we could take photos.
That's adorable.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, in the baseball dugout.
That's fantastic.
It's pretty cool. Anyway, great idea. I just wanted to... I don't know if you know. I don't think I mentioned it to you. I'm a minister.
If you would like to be married by Jason...
Yeah, call me up.
Hit him up on Instagram.
Yeah, hit me up on my email thread. All right, what else you got?
Guys in full-on nuclear radiation suits, Geiger counters,
Hazmat,
tick, 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 those things, looking. One of them is looking at the Geiger counter, saying to the other guy something, and then in front of them are just puppies and kittens and kids, and the guy's like, I've never seen such dangerous cute levels.
Have you been seeing every comment is cute level overload or...
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
is that a thing?
The vernacular is every time a pup, because all my Instagram now is French Bulldog puppies.
Of course it is.
So everyone's like, oh my God, cute overload, cute levels, maximum. I've never seen such levels of cute. No, that's good. So that's a twist on it. Because it's a thing people are saying and you've tapped into it.
Tapped into the
I
zeitgeist.
love that. I love it when that happens, when you accidentally realize something.
Yeah.
Because that's very good. Because then people will recognize the reference, I think. Great level.
I don't know if this is a baby bird
Okay.
or if it's like a pretentious bird that's just come back from holiday. I've got it as a baby bird.
Does he have a tattoo? How do you look?
I've got it as a baby bird saying this.
Okay, all right.
You know, in Spain, mums won't vomit in your mouth until at least 11 o'clock.
That's great. I love that.
'Cause that's one of those things, that's one of those things you hear once a year. Once a year you hear someone, in Spain, they don't even eat until whatever. Then insert bullshit time.
They have a nap at 3.
That's
great.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Didn't we? Because we had that bird brunch last time.
We had the bird thing, yeah.
Bottomless vomit.
Yeah.
That's a really funny joke. What is the French equivalent? Because they don't do breakfast, really. They don't do breakfast. They kind of have a nice lunch and then they have a big dinner. They do the opposite of what is recommended, don't they, the French?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just do a pastry and some milk, some hot milk.
I don't know what you're going. I don't know where you're going with this.
No, but
I'm trying to stay out of your way in case there's a joke.
I desperately want to draw a bird with a beret. That's what this is, Scott. I'm trying, please. Let me have this. You're like, is there a joke?
Don't fuck up this punchline. It's coming.
There's a drawing.
Nah, I like. Yeah.
They don't vomit in your mouth until after. That's great. At least 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Have you heard of Le Pause, by the way? It's this French parenting technique
Oh,
where...
I was going to say, is it
where I really want to draw...
a French bear's hands?
As in P-A-U-S-E. Le paws. Where if a kid is... This is why their kids don't misbehave and have tantrums in public, allegedly. There's this parenting technique that goes way back to the Dark Ages where if the baby's crying, they'll go to the room, but they'll hang out by the door for a minute and just let them and then go in if they're still crying. 9 times out of 10, they stop crying because they're between like sleep cycles or something. And so the kids actually regulate their emotions and temper. Isn't that crazy? And they're just starting to implement it in Western baby raising, whatever the fuck that.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting? That they just didn't share that with anyone for millennia.
Yeah.
They just went, no, we're just going to raise our kids.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I'd take the pastries and the wine. Like if there was an option.
Yeah.
If they were like, all right, we've got 3 great things.
Yeah.
Here they are.
Okay, pastries,
one of them
wine,
is,
berets.
Okay. All right.
Birds wearing
All
berets.
right. We've got 5 things.
Okay.
We've got 5 things.
Yep.
Pastries.
Yep.
Wine.
Yep.
Oral sex.
How is that just French?
Oral sex.
Yep.
And the Greeks like, we did that, yeah, but with women. Oh.
As you were.
It's a totally French thing. Keeping babies quiet.
Yeah.
Smoking without dying of cancer.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
That's 5, by the way.
That's 5 things.
Yeah.
Oh, also art.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so we've got
yeah.
6 things.
Yeah.
Western world, you can have 3.
Yep.
And we went, well, fuck smoking. We'll
Yeah.
figure that out. Never
Yep.
did.
Never
Never did.
did.
Our kids will be assholes forever. That's
Yep.
fine.
That's it.
Also, you are also part of the Western world, France.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, but we got our own thing happening. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. Anything? All right. Anything with a bird that talks.
Yeah, I just thought
You know
there
what
was
talking
something
animal.
about it. I didn't know if it was like someone. I like a baby bird saying it. There's something about it.
A baby
Pretentious.
bird. Yeah.
I don't know. You
With
know
eyes
better.
closed, going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Um,
Nice. Love a baby bird.
I don't know if this is a man saying it to a woman saying it to a man or just a girlfriend saying it to a girlfriend.
Okay.
It's kind of like this. I kind of feel like this is a bit like a Will McPhaley kind of, you know, the girls at brunch kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The caption is, "When I say it, it's tough love. When you do, it's mean."
That's good.
You know that thing?
There's nothing worse than someone calling you mean.
Yeah, it's such a something mean.
Mean. That's funny. That's a really tight punchline. That's a very clear cut.
It's a bit. It's
Caption.
pretty A to B, but
I
it's-
like it. No, honestly, I think that's highly underrated A to B. Some people are trying to be too clever sometimes.
Now,
I like it.
no one can ever accuse us of that.
I just want to draw a bird with a fucking beret.
Now, here are 2 I wanted to kind of talk to you about.
Okay.
Hoodies, as in the clothing item,
I know it well.
heading into kidnap season because
kidnap
because
season?
it's where your girlfriend nicks your hoodie. We've already had our first skirmish.
Have you?
And I've got a collection of hoodies for Ashika to wear.
Yeah.
But I bought one. There's this brand that I've become really into. And
What
it's
is
the
it?
first time I've ever been. It's
Are we
called-
going to get a sponsorship?
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's called Jound.
Okay.
And it's this really expensive,
Comfortable.
like, super comfortable,
Yeah.
just, it's fuckboy wear.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it costs a fortune for like a tracksuit.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? $160 for a pair of tracky pants? That's a great investment.
Oh my God.
When I don't have a job.
In Carlton, maybe.
And so, yeah, and also there's no drugs in it.
No, oh, okay.
It's not like a
Well,
tracksuit.
then that's
It's-
not a good
it's
investment.
not evidence that you go.
It's got like a
also,
third pocket.
Check the pocket. that's where most of the money's going.
Yeah. That's great.
So anyway, so
Hoodies.
I've put my foot down and I realized like you're a nut. Well, who cares if someone wears a hoodie?
Yeah, but
But it's a nice
it's
hoodie.
a nice hoodie. I
But
mean,
it's with cuffing season.
yeah. So I was
And I was
just going to
like
bring
a
up
bit of a
cuffing season.
twist on cuffing season.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like, well, your hoodies are about to get nicked.
Do-
but if it's hoodies having a news report saying we're heading into there's been another kidnapping. Or,
I love it.
I don't know.
No, that's good. It's a hoodie on the news saying we've
something
had
like-
another kidnapping.
Yeah.
A woman has stolen her husband
like that.
without having to say it. I mean, I took the.
See how half baked that
I,
is.
yeah, there's something there. There's something there. Speaking of hoodies, realised that it's too cold to walk the dog, so got him a hoodie.
I saw your dog's hoodie.
And he's 10 times more popular now with brunch girls who are falling out of places and go, oh my God,
Thank
Stop!
you. Oh my
I need
God.
to Instagram him. So, do we need to do we need to revisit what cuffing season is for any new listeners?
Oh, yeah, it's when winter. Well,
Well, it's as it gets colder, as the season. Because in New York, the seasons are very definitive. As it gets colder, just this isn't an observation. This is just a thing. Is just people want to bunker down for the colder seasons with someone, watch Netflix in bed. Cuffing season. It's people just want to find their mate for winter to go into hibernation with. Is that? I'm being simplistic about it. There's a little more than that, but
no. That's reasonable.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We
So,
haven't quite
kidnap
nailed
Hoodie.
Yeah.
Kidnap season.
Well, that's not a
is it
thing.
on? Or is it a milk carton with a hoodie on
Ah,
it?
there you go.
Is that it? Missing hoodie.
There you
Last seen in Girlfriends, or like
I think it's got to be like last scene with Jessica.
Jessica,
Yeah.
Brittany. Yeah, Jessica.
Yeah, Brittany.
Yeah, there's something there. There's definitely something there. I've fought. Sophie wears all my clothes, and we have had many a marital tiff about when she will wear my clothes.
This is the only time I've ever been.
Oh, it's not the last.
Yeah.
It will
no,
not.
No,
be
it's
the last.
on. It's on just this.
Oh,
this
you
just-
think? No,
yeah,
no, you think. You think.
This was another one that we've been discussing and
Yes.
mucking around with for a while now. The message in the bottle.
Oh yeah, love.
And we had the one that we had was something about home insurance or credit cards or
Right.
something that you get
Capital
a lot
One.
of. Capital One.
Then I realised it had been done. Ellis Facts Rosen brought it to our attention that it had been done, and then we did the one where it was hide the coconut, we're being audited. Because it was a letter from the IRS.
That's
and
right.
again, I think something similar had been done.
It was a variation on a
Yeah.
theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about this one if someone's opening up the thing and the message just says unsubscribe? So it's like, it's the idea that the messages
funny.
are getting there. Someone knows. They're like, oh, this fucking nerd.
Is he writing unsubscribe, putting it back in the bottle,
Throwing it into the sea.
That's great. So his pose is having just thrown, and there's a whole bunch of bottles piled up on the island, right?
Oh, no, I thought it was the guy. Oh, okay.
Right, because that's an angle I'm looking at.
Right.
Whole bunch of bottles piled up on this island,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
His beard, like he's cast away.
Yeah.
He's been there for a long time.
The literal, the Mad Magazine, like
Exactly.
triangle pants.
Where is he getting the triangle pants, by the way? It's like a triangle
Every
pants
single
store.
time, yeah.
Is that a thing too? A desert island with a triangle pants store. So he's just
Oh, that's
thrown.
funny.
That could be something.
That's really funny.
Beards and
Do
triangle
you have any
pants.
without the triangle? No.
It's all just triangle pants.
Triangle pants.
It's like a Simpsons gag almost. So he's thrown his poses that he's thrown the bottle, and the bottle has landed in the foreground in the water. So you see him in the left of frame,
Yeah.
in the distance with all
Yeah.
the bottles in it.
Yep.
And you can see the message inside. It's been scrawled, I don't know, blood. I don't know what he's used, charcoal, and it just says unsubscribe.
Oh, see,
That's-
I
so you can
have
see
it.
it. That's
it's
what I'm
him.
seeing it.
I have it. It's the guy on the island receiving it.
Oh!
So all of the messages
that's
that
funny.
he has been sending,
Yeah.
have found someone. And that person, rather than sending hope, has been, fuck this, written unsubscribe on a bottle, thrown it into the water, and then it's somehow gone back to
Of
him.
course, it's gone back to him. That's funny too. I think they're both funny. Why don't we do
I
them
think
both?
doing both.
That's
Yeah.
great. No, I totally
Triangle pants is funny.
I think there's triangle pants.
Yeah.
I think that's episode title. Triangle pants is one of those tropes as frequently used as the desert island itself. For some reason, pants eventually become triangles once you've crashed a plane.
But the triangle pant is it's desert island.
Yep.
It's desert.
Desert.
It is hanging in a medieval castle.
It is ready for the torture. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Where and they're going. Oh, can I get them in a medium? Like,
Yeah.
large, medium, extra small when you're very skinny.
Or
and
maybe
gaunt.
or maybe it's like a fashion show where the triangle pants are on the runway, and it's really big with castaways, lost travelers,
It's the desert.
medieval torture victims.
It's the Desert Island collection.
That's pretty.
That's great. And they're all on the catwalk with beards and triangle pants. I think we just had 4 cartoons out of one idea. That's
funny.
great. I'm
Yeah.
into it. Nice. All
What
right.
do you got?
Nothing that fucking good. That's 4 home runs. That was fantastic.
don't know about that.
I
I
don't want to overstate because now I may have doomed them to fail. Okay.
They were doomed the second my fingerprints got near him, buddy.
All right. So it's an office. It's quite dark and
Just before you go in.
Yeah, go on then.
Why are you going to Chicago? I feel like this is a question I should have asked 20 minutes ago, but...
Going to Chicago. Well, I don't know.
Well, are you going
First
to
of all,
Chicago?
I got this while you were talking. I just got that. It says...
delay update. Your 4 p.m. flight from New York to Chicago is delayed because an earlier delay. It's impacted your plane's arrival. Now departs at 5:10. We're sorry for the extra delay. What time were you actually meant to leave?
4.
4. Oh, right. Oh, okay.
So it was going to be 4, then 4:30. Now it's 5.
Oh.
Cut to me at the airport in triangle pants. Just shaving off coconuts and begging for.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, what it's the boarding sections.
Yeah.
So we've got otherwise abled people and military personnel. We've got first class. We've got platinum. We've got our airlines flights. Then we've just got the guys with beards. And actually, that reminds. I think it might actually have been done by I want to say like Pat Burns or Joe Data or someone where it was like. Shepherds with like sheep, like a goat herders section can now board.
Yeah.
It's like just very, and they're just standing there very normally, just like, yep, okay, no, that's our turn. Like that.
Is there something in maybe it's the announcement?
Yeah.
And it's special announcement for passengers flying to Minnesota. Your country has not forgotten you. And it's like.
That's hilarious.
It's just all these people like camped out at a boarding gate.
Funny.
Waiting.
That's good. Oh, that's not bad.
There's something like
there's something in that.
Because they've got to do that. They've got to send. You've got the text message.
Yeah.
And then when you're out there, this is a special announcement for we apologise.
Just letting you know.
And they're just keeping you in the loop just because
we have not forgotten you.
Yeah.
We realise the lights are off and we've locked all of the doors.
Yeah.
And LaGuardia has a curfew, famously.
That's right. Yeah.
I think it's like 11. So if your flight isn't out by 11, you get yourself a hotel, son, because there's no going out. So Chicago, that's a long answer to a very simple question. I'm going there to draw pictures.
It's a very simple answer.
It sounds like a very mob answer. Union stuff. Legitimate business stuff. It's Chicago.
Certainly not seeing a secret family I may have in Illinois. Definitely not that.
This is Sophie's thing. Because I'm in a different city every week, she's like, I'm the favorite family, right? Like out of them. I'm like, yeah, definitely. You've got the dog.
Yeah. The hoodie wearing dog.
That's the only thing that sells it is the hoodie.
So I cut you off. Sorry.
It's
very dark, dim.
Okay, so dark dim office. It is a. Have you ever been on a ghost tour, like of an old prison or a?
Watch horror films.
I know.
I don't watch certain Disney films.
Aladdin, the rug moves.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah,
Miss me with your supernatural themes, Disney.
longest running show on TV currently, Supernatural. And it's like 50th season or something like that. It's people are drawn to it. I don't know what it is. So there's these ghost tours. They take people around old prisons and old haunted houses. And if you listen carefully, some people say you can still hear the sounds of the chain. Like there's and they sometimes hire people like to
they absolutely
make
do.
noises. And stuff. So people go, oh my God, and they say take a photo, but be careful if you look back, it might not show up or So it's a flip. It's just a direct flip.
Yep.
And it's a bunch of ghosts going on a people tour.
That's great.
And
That's great.
And if you listen carefully, and so it's just, you can just see on the inside of the door, there's the faint silhouette of a man balding at a desk, just Joe or whatever, just sitting there with his pens. And if you listen carefully, some say you can still hear the sounds of Darren filing his 1099.
That's great. That's really funny.
It's just a flip.
Yeah.
I just saw Ghost Tour and I went, what if they toured us? Is that's what's
or
happening? Because we can't see them.
Is there something in just the thing that the twist on it? If you listen carefully, some say Sue from accounts might ask you for $5 for John's going away, or that kind of like.
You might hear Sue telling everyone there's a birthday cake for Darren.
So these haunted houses are a serious thing in America,
Big
especially at this time of the or just before this time of the year.
It's an industry in October.
Yeah, and there's this guy, David Farrier. He's this New Zealand documentarian who...
Not to be confused with the New Yorker cartoonist David Ferrier, who's in Melbourne. Right?
No, they mispronounce. They pronounce and spell their names differently.
It sounds like Ferrier, but with an accent.
It's so he did this documentary called Tickled.
Oh.
Which was about this weird thing. It was really amazing. Competitive.
It's going to be Jeffrey Epstein
competitive tickling. Well, pretty much was.
Okay.
It was this amazing
competitive tickling.
Yeah, it was this weird subculture thing, and it was a really interesting documentary. And it got a lot of thing. And then he did a series on Netflix called Dark Tourist.
Yeah,
He's this guy from New Zealand. He dated a friend of my wife's years ago. We started following each other on Twitter. We kind of talk to each other every now and then. Anyway, he did one of these stories about. One of these haunted houses.
Right.
There's one called McCamey Manor.
McCamey.
And it was some old plantation or something. Okay. Anyway, the guy that runs it is a lunatic.
Oh,
and
great.
it's akin to like a torture chamber. And people are suing him and getting injured and having PTSD.
What, 'cause
seriously,
they're like falling
yeah,
down
no, it's
and...
a serious thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Lunatic.
That's insane. Because I know that like in certain cities in America, they do these tours of old ghost houses in certain areas, and you have to charge admission, and they do them all up. And make them all, like,
No, this
like a
was
ghost
yeah.
train. That's a real thing.
But in the wrong hands. It just shows like.
What are they called?
It's called the movie's called Tickled. It won a bunch of awards. I think it was nominated for an Oscar.
Really? Tickled. All right, I'm going to check it out.
It's very good. Really good.
Speaking of really good, saw Parasite. Holy crap.
Oh, it's really good, right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Finally saw it.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so the next one, it's a big fish about to eat a small fish.
Yep.
And a small fish.
Classic.
Classic, right?
Yeah.
And the small fish is going, no, wait, I'm Union. Is that something?
Yeah, that's funny.
Anytime there's, I don't know. I just keep hearing that. Maybe it's just in my subconscious now.
Is there something in that, like, the big fish is like patrolling and the little fish is saying to his wife, like, we've got to move to a littler pond, smaller pond.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad. Smaller pond.
I like the union thing, though. That's funny.
Yeah, that could be a second idea. So, big pond, little fish.
That's
and big
what.
pond,
Yeah.
big pond, little
It's pretty,
fish.
It's pretty.
What if one of the fish has just put on a lot of weight? It's like, you're not really a big fish in a little pond. You're just obese.
Yeah.
You just got to lay off the potato chips, Daryl. Daryl the fish.
Yeah.
Oh, I just can't remember eating them. And there's something in big fish in the little pond.
Or the big fish is saying to the little fish, my wife wants me to eat more fish.
More omega-3s?
Sorry, buddy.
That reminds me of a good New Yorker cartoon. I think this week, which was just, it might have been Peter Vey or somewhere, PCV. It was just a Desert Island cartoon. It's someone, he's got a message in a bottle, he's pulled it out, and he's like, it's another recipe for fish. It's just got all these recipes for fish. That's great. I'm sorry if I misquoted who that was from.
That's great.
This is one that I'm not sure if again, I don't know if it's been done or if it's too obscure. It would definitely track with the New Yorker audience, but it's a couple of mums talking, a couple of parents talking in the living room, and in the background there's a kid with one of these sort of audio recorder microphones, holding it out to a houseplant, and she goes, "Yeah, he has Terry Gross syndrome. I don't know what to do."
I don't get it.
Terry Gross from Fresh Air on NPR, famous interviewer. Okay, all right.
No, but don't go.
The
go
reference is that, so she's like what's the equivalent in Australia? Well, just who's the most famous interviewer in Australia? Is it the Laurie Oakes or the I don't know who.
Just I know he's an interview. He interviews people. I can figure that
Terry
out from
Gross,
you saying he does interviews.
Right. It's like a badge of pride. It's like getting a Mad Magazine parody. Like to be on Terry Gross.
Oh, right.
To be interviewed on Fresh Air is like a big cultural phenomenon.
Right.
And because NPR listeners are now a type, they're a stereotype. They're wearing, got their tote bags and they're on the subway, reading books. And Terry Gross syndrome, I like the idea of that being something that kids get akin to autism. I'm not making fun of autism.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's a syndrome that's like, we don't know what to, he keeps going around interviewing things.
That's funny.
Because she's a very good interviewer.
Right.
She's, let's call her the Joe Rogan of NPR. She would absolutely hate that. Okay, so here's what. Okay, when I tried to pitch, do you remember Keep It Open? My favorite.
Which was the the person at the hot dog
Big
stand.
fat guy, hot dog stand.
Yep.
Handing over a credit card saying keep it open.
Yep.
A lot of Aussies.
Love that joke.
It's my white whale. I want to sell it. I can't make it work.
It's a good. I think you had it. Yeah.
We had the backstory is that we pitched it, and then cartoon editor loved it. Took it to the editor. Editor said that's just a fat joke. We're like, well, kind of, but it's funny. Then she said, well, wait, redo it. Make it like something else. So I made it a woman after a big night out. Getting junk food on the side of the street. Street cart, keep it open, right?
Yeah.
And which makes more sense because she just came from a bar, right?
Yeah.
She's giving and then I got Sophie to pose for it.
Yep.
And then again, cartoon editor loved it. Took it to the editor. Editor said, she looks like a prostitute. Thanks a lot, editor of the New Yorker. I think my wife looks like a prostitute. Then she said, just make it a dude. Just make it anyone. Just make it a regular old. Make it you. Just do it. Make it you. I'm like, thanks very much. So drew myself in it. Put it in. Keep it open. She put it through.
Looks like someone who'd go to a prostitute.
I even put like a jersey with numbers on the back, just as a dude, right? Keep it open. Takes it to the editor. He goes, "Oh, I've seen this one before." So I've had to hold it back until his memory is wiped.
No, did we have kids at the Mr. Whippy as well?
We had kids at Mr. Whippy, like a fancy looking kid, trying to impress his friends.
Yep.
That's
right.
Joe Data reached out. Do you know this? And this is why I'm just bringing it up, just in case I haven't mentioned it. He said, "Great idea. If it's a peanut stand, elephant."
Oh yeah, that's
standing
funny.
there going,
That's right.
and in his trunk is the credit card.
That's really funny.
Is that a good?
That's a good joke.
That's a good joke.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to pitch it. I'm going to draw it
Okay.
up and pitch it as that.
Yeah.
If it still doesn't get through, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hang on.
If you still do it, just do it at a bar, and just it's a guy at a bar saying "keep it open," getting a drink, and I bet you it gets up.
It's
I bet
genius.
it's like one of those things. Oh man, people do that.
That's pretty funny. That's funny.
No, it's not funny. That's just a thing that
No,
happens.
what you said is funny. The joke is not.
Yeah, good. I didn't want us to get into that. You know that thing where you just spend too much time on one thing? You're like, you know what? I reckon this could work.
Yeah, no.
And then you're at the end of the day, then you're investing in a wave pool.
Okay, is there something in this? It is. It's a carrot on a stick, right?
Yep.
But the carrot is alive. And he's saying, "Oh my God, what did I ever do to deserve this? Every moment of my life is horrible. Every second could be my last. What did I ever do?" He's just dangling.
Yeah.
It's an existential crisis. He's immortal at all times. Imagine the stress of a carrot on a stick. There's a donkey.
No, I get the joke.
No, I'm trying to build it in my brain because it's a half-baked idea.
Yeah.
It's a distressed carrot.
I think the thing for that is how did the carrot was sentenced
Right.
to that, maybe.
What if the carrot's going, "Wait, I'm union"?
Yeah.
There could be something. I don't know. Because I thought of it, and then
It's
I
a
was
fun-
like,
I
there's
like that
something
idea.
about
Yeah.
imbuing that carrot, that inanimate object, with a personality.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
It's like, what?
and it is like
the worst.
that is one of the most stressful.
Yeah, it's
It's like lobster in the Chinese food tank. It's the carrot on the.
It's the walking the plank.
Yeah.
It's the cement shoes. Carrot on a stick. Why can't it be turnips? What?
Yeah, they like apples.
They like apples. Just make it apples. Can
Yeah.
we? Is that the vote? I'd like to vote that we
Yeah.
change the job of stick hanging to apples. They've had it too good for too long. Haven't they?
I don't
Haven't
know,
apples?
I do like that. I think that's something there. Yeah.
Something. Have you ever been to Bayonne in New Jersey?
No.
It's famously very like working class kind of place, real rough and tumble. Their most famous export is a boxer. They call him the Bayonne Bleeder. There was a film about him. I think Liev Schreiber played him.
Look, I know nothing about this, but I'm
Okay.
saying if your nickname is the Bleeder, you weren't a great boxer.
He famously would stay in round after round, just bleeding, head caved in, just kept fighting. The Bayonne Bleeder. I think there's a statue of him over there, something like that.
Outside a hospital.
Yeah, or a bar named after him or something outside an intensive care unit. That's not bad. There's something there. The Bayonne Bleeder outside a blood bank. So Bayonne, a really rough place. but and
It's,
it's a
it
bite of
sounds
a
like
lot
a
of
rough place if their most famous export is a bad boxer.
It really is. I'm realizing now that they're really proud of it, and it's not at all. something
It's
to be proud of.
horrible.
Yeah, he was the worst.
Yeah. 0 and 280.
I think it was called Boxer. I think there's a film about it just called Boxer, I think. Anyway, butt of a lot of comedians' jokes is Bayonne, especially when you're doing gigs in clubs in New Jersey. This is the kind of place that, like, shitty places in New Jersey make fun of.
Right.
Like, so this is a play on words. It's Bed, Bath, and Bayonne. It's just chairs, glasswares, and then just a guy with boxing gloves bleeding out of his face.
I like it.
And
Will anyone get that
I think
joke?
New Yorkers will get it. It's a New Yorker joke.
I get if that reference works, that's really
Yeah,
funny. Yeah.
It's
Which obviously it does. Otherwise, you wouldn't have mentioned it.
Well, no, I mean, this is the thing. It works on stage in comedy clubs because people come in, the Bridge and Tunnel crowd come in,
Right.
and they know Bayonne because
Right.
And there's some industrial parks and stuff out there.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's where they make wheels or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
Bed Bath and Bayonne. I don't know. There's something there.
I like that joke.
All right, lucky last. I've been trying to make this one work for a while, which is not a good preface for a joke.
Oh, no, that's good.
The mother of all villains. All right, if you've heard this term, the mother of all.
Yeah.
And she just looks like a part of every villain. Like her and her husband look like a mix of everyone. So all of her kids are literally like Phantom of the Opera, Thanos, the Hamburglar, Kingpin, the Joker, Darth Vader, Sauron, Voldemort, Loki, Magneto, the Wicked Witch. Just like that's their kids in the it's like a mantle with all their kids' photos in there.
Funny.
And she's just there on the rocking chair and he's in his armchair and she's the mother of all villains. Is there something in that? Or is the line, oh, my kids are just the worst? Or
That's funny.
Or I'm such a bad parent. I'm so bad at this. You know how some parents, they make a small infraction. They're like, I'm the worst parent.
Yeah.
She's like, I gave birth to Darth Vader. I'm the worst. Is there something in that? See your
I'm going to need
wheels
time to think
turning.
about
Yeah, I
that
can
one.
see your cogs turning.
Yeah.
Because the line is, it's a caption up the
Mother of all
top.
villains.
I
Is
think.
that really a...
You really are the mother of all villains. As I watch Godzilla, King of Monsters, you see.
Of course you did.
Yeah, and Mothra.
I didn't realize Godzilla was part of a at the
monarchy.
very least, constitutional monarchy.
Constitutional monarchy. He's just a figurehead, really. Mothra is the real power. Anyway, so that's.
I like
I'm
that.
sort of
Yeah.
bubbling away on that
Yeah,
one. Like I
yeah.
said, I've been trying to find out how to make it work.
Yeah.
But I can't quite figure out, is it a line? Is it a caption? Is it them with a family
Mother's
photo?
Day, like
Yeah, Mother's Day. Is it a family photo? Is it a P&T meeting? Is it, well, your son is really... yeah. Oh, look at this. Delay update on your 4 p.m. flight. Now departing at 5:50 p.m.
Oh, so we've gone from 4 to 4:30 to 5:10 to 5:50.
Not looking good, Dooley.
Nah,
I think I
you're
might be
here.
staying home. Might be seeing the old dog. All right, so let's do some suggestions. If you want to send your suggestions in, you can send them to the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ITSIT podcast. The first one comes from Laura Roberts, LA Roberts 22 on Instagram. Thank you. Cartoon pitch for you. Might be too inside baseball / not as big of a story to those outside the news, but we're following this upcoming book by Anonymous, the White House staff leaker.
Oh yeah.
Now this is a book that is that
wrote the op-ed for the
Lodestar
Times or something, right?
Op-ed, yeah. Maybe have a person visiting a psychic holding up a copy of the book or the cover of the book, asking to find out who Anonymous is. Alternatively, make it a Guess Who game, but with White House staffers. So, like, the Guess Who board with the flicking down thing, but everyone in the White House who's left. Just a thought. Hope to catch a live podcast taping soon. Cheers, Laura.
I like that, Laura. I think that can apply to any number of things that are happening in the White House at the moment, particularly with how like the whistleblower has been treated or something.
Right. I think there was. I know. Sorry if I'm wrong about this. It might have been Leela Ash or someone did a. It was like a. Almost like a Guess Who thing of like who's next to be thrown under the bus.
I've seen that. There's also another good Guess Who one, which is it's like, did did I kill myself? And the person says no, and they flip down Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh shit, that's pretty funny. That's a good joke. Then I did
There's something
see.
that guess who is a really nice technique, isn't it?
So then and this is the next day, the day after Laura sent me this, and I did text her back with this because I was like, good brain. Bill Maher did a monologue about it.
Oh, that's right.
He did a joke about guess who and whoever's left and who's next to be thrown under the bus. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, it's a good joke because it works so well because like who is left? Like he's thrown everyone. Giuliani's probably next, I would say. Like in logical.
Yeah, Rudy's got some trouble.
Fuck Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
Next one. This is from you might have met this guy, Wyatt Nixon Lloyd of Luke and Wyatt. Back in Australia. Anyway, he said, I was listening to a song and had a cartoon idea.
Great.
That's
Love
always
that. Love that.
I think it's a germ.
Just before I crashed my car, I had this idea. It's always the way.
I think it's a germ of something good.
Great.
Good. A post-apocalyptic landscape. Everyone is dressed in rags.
Oh,
Triangle
great.
pants. Children sadly play with sticks. An old person also dressed in rags and malnourished crossly says, in my day we sat inside in the AC and watched TV. Like complaining about,
Yeah.
Is there something in that? Thanks,
The
Wyatt.
thing I love about Wyatt there is that wasn't an idea. That's come to him as a vision.
Yeah.
Like it's so vivid.
That was a dream he had while he
it's
was...
such a beautiful
And he woke up and
hellish hellscape that he's come up with.
Yeah.
I like that. I was kind of tinkering around with a similar idea, which was it was kind of a similar thing. Like in my day, we had to be mean to celebrities if we saw them at a restaurant, instead of having the convenience of just being able to mean to them from your home.
Right.
But I think that in my day stuff has to be pretty spot on.
There's something in my day because there's always
and there needs to be a logical kind of extrapolation from something that you're doing now.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, we sit inside in the AC, we would
Which is something we do, but
blog
it's not
in the
really what
cold.
we're
Right.
defined by as a generation, is it?
Yeah. I mean, we vape and we blog and I don't know what else we do. We tweet, we gram.
Yeah.
What an indictment on our generation's
No, but we
accomplishments.
also like I think the twist on that would be like if everyone in this hellscape is like dead on the road or like they look like zombies or like and you're like back in my day you had to get opioids prescribed to you or, you know what I mean, like
right.
like kind of something because it's dark,
of
so
course.
something dark as well to join it.
That's
like,
not bad actually. That's
well,
worth
it's not. It's pretty. It's probably a bit dark for our needs, but you know what I mean. That kind of like looking at something that we're doing now that is nuts.
Yeah.
And then, like, and to your point, like, we spend so much time on these dumb things,
We
Twitter
do.
and Instagram and blah, 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 blah.
Which, boomers, how we said last week it's a bit boomer to make fun of people spending
That's
time on
blown
the phone.
up, hasn't it?
Sure has.
That's become a real conversation.
It is, yeah. And I think that's why I was like, we could do a captionless cartoon about something about that.
Yeah.
I think there's something there.
The thing that I kind of am interested in with this whole conversation that's going on and how... and I haven't thought this out, so it's probably not going to be very succinct. But the idea that
This will be good.
the our parents' generation, and not our parents specifically necessarily, but our parents' generation's whole thing was we worked hard so you have an easier life.
Yeah.
And now it's like, look how easy your life is. Like, yeah, but this was the plan.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then
You can't
when-
make fun of us for living the life you built for us.
And then when we're like,
That's a good point.
oh, well, you know what, this kind of, what sucks is like not being able to buy a house. Well, why don't you just like, no, but you were on our side 2 minutes ago. Like you're
Hang on a second.
complaining that you worked so hard for us.
For this,
And now we can't get this basic thing. We're not assholes for that. We're just mentioning it.
That could be, That's something that could be mined for stand-up material, I think. There's something there
It's
in
an
that.
angle, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a bigger conversation that's happening.
Yeah, but it is, but I think at the heart of it, that's it.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Well, hang on. Pick a side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Back in my day, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. Did you though?
Did you? Did you even have bootstraps?
Yeah.
Had thongs, mate.
Yeah.
Come on. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the bootstrap is a pretty the
Pretty rudimentary.
The hypocrisy is just a bit stark for me. Not to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I've never thought about that. That's a really interesting observation. We've got one last suggestion. And again, if you want to send yours in, facebook.com/ITSIT podcast, or hit me up on Instagram at Jason Chatfield. Okay, this one is from Drew Holloway. He's even drawn it on a napkin for us.
Excellent.
Good, isn't he great?
That's great.
I love. We encourage napkin drawings, please. And they're both standing there saying, 2 Jehovah's Witnesses at the door, standing there going, so are you going to pretend to listen to us for the next few minutes, or should we just fuck off now? And he goes, is there something in that? Probably not. I'm drunk. Thanks, Drew.
I think it's all right, Drew. I think the caption could just be tightened like,
Yeah, there's something in it.
do you have 2 minutes to pretend to listen to us?
Yeah, that'd be... Because you had that great idea of the guy in Union Square handing out a pamphlet going, do you want to read what a terrible person you are?
Yeah, that's...
Read about what a terrible person
I think
you
great
are.
idea might be a bit much.
Yeah, okay.
Idea.
You had that one idea, I should say. Sorry, edit point. There's something... there was a contentious one, and I think I had a cartoon a while back, which was 2 Jehovah's Witnesses who were really buff at the front door, and it said Jehovah's Fitness, and they had the Bible of like CrossFit, like the cross.
Yeah.
And then there was a comic who was like, "Oh, I'm doing that bit. You probably heard me do it." I'm like, "Well, I didn't because I wrote this a long time ago, but I'm sorry. Yeah, that's." And then I looked it up, and it turns out there's tons of Jehovah's Fitness jokes on the internet. I was like, "All right, well, it turns out I'm a hack."
Jehovah's Witness, what's a terrible...
Yeah, Jehovah's Fit, because the thing they hand out to you says, do you know the truth?
Yeah.
Or do you want to know the way? They're all very vague questions that are like, wait, directions? What do I need? Take the F train? He is the way, is the big one. He is the truth and the way.
I had a joke that I've written about something like this a while ago.
About Jehovah's Witnesses?
Something like that.
All right. Teaser. Sizzle for next.
It wasn't very good. I can't remember.
All right. Well, I'm going to go and sit at LaGuardia Airport for the next
That's gonna
72
be fun.
hours. Isn't it good? But they just did it up. LaGuardia's all fancy now. I'll sit in there all day.
Well, you will.
And I've got the lounge too. I don't have a fucking choice. Now I will. Oh, look, another flight update. Delay update. Your 4 p.m. flight from New York to Chicago is delayed further because of an earlier blah, blah, blah. UA 741 now departs in 2047. All right, well, we'll be back next week.
We will.
We will. Thank you very much. See you later.